Day YouTube, and welcome to another episode of the Albino Rhino Beer Review. Today you have the Rhino, and we are looking at a beer that was picked up for me by the one and only Greg. Thank you very much, Greg, for picking this beer up. Great to try this beer. I actually wanted to share this beer with somebody to be his first sour beer, and then he fucked off on me last week. This was aged 17 months in barrels, and it was bottled in March of 2015. It is from Bellwoods Brewery in Toronto, Ontario. No Rest for the Wicked, which is a Brett barrel-aged stout at 9.5% alcohol by volume. I'm really curious if Bellwoods just really love... Well, I know they really love Brett, but I want to know if their barrels all have Brett because of contamination, or if it was done on purpose. Like, did they have a bunch of bourbon and cognac and rum and such barrels, and Brett got in them, so now they have to be Brett barrel-aged? Or is it that they purposely put Brett in all of the ones that are Brett barrel-aged? Just curious, because I know that Brett is talked about a lot as a very, very invasive yeast that will get into everything. So I'm always curious, because they seem to be doing basically all Brett barrel-aged beers lately. We got our big Frankfurt mug from Silversmith. And I know, oh, why would you drink out of that? Because I want to, okay? It's the cup that is today's rotation cup. Oh, no rest for the wicked. Black, head, brown, nice snap, crackle, pop. Lots of snap, crackle, pop. Looks like a stout. Actually, you know what? That's not really black as much as it's like a murky brown. But that's still a beautiful color. Smell. Okay. Okay, so out of the glass, you're basically getting what you get from pretty much all Brett barrel-aged beers. You're getting that touch of sourness, that touch of like almost cherry, like cherry licorice, like nibs, like a nibs, a sourness, and a funkiness. So that's out of the glass, but out of the bottle, you get that plus a deep dark roast and a nice chocolate note. Oh, and wood. You get the fucking vanilla, and you get the vanilla, you get the oak. Oh, it's like you're I don't know if any of you really had them as a kid, but it's like you have that oh, what was it called? It was the little engraving pencil. It was a pencil that heated up and you would burn into your wood. You would, oh, I can't even remember the name of it. I used to have one of those kits. Oh, I can't do it. One of you has to know. It's like a soldering iron, but it's to draw on wood. I used to have one of those kits, and that actually just smells like the burning wood. It's just reminding me of my childhood when I'd hide in the basement so that I wasn't near my drunken father-in-laws or my crazy mother. Let's try a beer. Cheers. Okay, so here's something I've noticed about soured stouts now. They are quite alike, no matter what company makes them. Whiny Bastard, the brewery one that I had, what was it, Black Tuesday, I think it was? I can't, no, not, I'm gonna have to look it up, but I had a sour one from the brewery as well, which I believe it was Joe or Ewart. I think it was Ewart that brought it down for festival, not this year, but last year's, I believe. But they all have very similar textures and very similar profiles. That being said, just like the others, I really, really enjoy this. I think the best part about a sour stout is you still have the heft of a stout with that sourness, because a lot of sour beers seem to be really thin. But when you sour a stout, it's fucking A-okay. I'm getting the Brett funkiness, and I'm getting that Brett dryness on the back of my throat. Not full-on horse blanket-like, but I'm getting that that funk, that almost barnyard funk. Nice and sour, though. Nice and sour. The sour lasts all the way through. It's still sour and kind of puckering on the back of my palate right now. Lots of wood. Lots of char on that wood, too. And lots of char on the malts. There is some malty sweetness up at the forefront. But you get hit with vanilla, oaky tannins, and char right after that. And it's weird because you get that sweet, and then the sour kicks in. But at the same time as the sour, you get those wood sensations. But that sour lasts, and so does the wood. But it kind of fluctuates in which is more apparent. Then in the middle, the wood's more apparent. At the end, the wood is just on the back of your tongue, but the sour is sitting at the top of your throat and the back of your throat. Does not feel like a 9.5% alcohol beer. It gives a little bit of warming in the chest, but it doesn't feel like 9.5% alcohol. And for that, I give them kudos. I don't say, oh, you're lying, it's 5% alcohol. No, it is 9.5% alcohol. This is a very, very dangerous beer. This beer would fuck you up. And you wouldn't even know it's fucking you up because it doesn't taste like it's 9.5% alcohol. And I don't understand why so many people want to make a point of, well, if it's 10% alcohol, I should be able to tell it's 10% alcohol. No, it's a brewing feat that you can make a 10% alcohol beer that doesn't feel like a 10% alcohol beer. That's a brewing feat. It's just like when you make a whiskey or a vodka. Some are super smooth and you wouldn't know they're 40% alcohol, and some burn like a motherfucker and you know they're 40% alcohol. It all matters in the quality and the way they brew it and so many other factors, but this is not something that feels like it's almost 10%, and that is a great thing. And I'm glad that the camera doesn't show my hands perfectly, because I am going full-on Italian, even though I'm not Italian. This beer is a beautiful, beautiful beer. I love it. And like I said, there are so many similar characteristics in the flavor profile, but it is a lot different than the other ones at the same time, because so much wood pops out of this. You are getting that sourness, you are getting the funkiness, but there's so much wood popping, and I think the wood pop is the biggest part of this beer. You get the heft of the stout, you get a little bit of the warmth, you get the wood, just char and vanilla and oakiness. You get the sour, you get the funk. I'm not really getting any chocolate, I'm not really getting any coffee. Is that a big problem? No, because I know it's a stout just by that charry taste, which I still think is mostly barrel, but you get a char taste with a lot of stouts anyway. But with the heft of this, the color of this, the smell out of the bottle, and the woody taste, I know I'm drinking a stout. I know I'm drinking a well-made beer. It is a well-made beer. Do I think it's a little overpriced for what it's at? Possibly, but does that actually bother me? No, it's not going to take away from the price, because I would buy this again. I would recommend this beer, but I do have to say that price is more something I'd want to pay for a $6.50. I understand that they make very small batches, so making your money back at this point is a big part of it. And I'm okay with that because it's high quality beer and I'm not disappointed in it. Out of 10 on this, it's almost a 10% alcohol sour stout that I can chug and I love. I'm going to give it a 9.75 out of 10. I love this beer. I love this beer. I do. I do have a little tear running down my face, though. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you, Greg, for picking this up. Au revoir, a bientôt. See you soon. Bye-bye, bitches.